Currency swap agreements have emerged as a vital tool for China to internationalize the renminbi, RMB, and reduce reliance on the US dollar in global trade and finance. These agreements allow central banks to exchange currencies, facilitating trade and investment without the need for the US dollar as an intermediary. By promoting RMB usage, China aims to challenge the US dollar's dominance in international markets and foster a more multipolar financial system. Recent developments include China's renewed 15 billion yuan, $2 billion swap agreement with Nigeria. This initiative, among others, showcases China's determination to establish an alternative global financial framework despite warnings from the US. Over the past few years, China has significantly expanded its currency swap agreements with 40 nations, including major economies and emerging markets. This strategic expansion signals profound implications for global finance and the US economy, potentially reshaping economic alliances and trade dynamics. Major currency swap agreements. China's currency swap deal with Saudi Arabia amounts to 50 billion yuan, $7 billion. This agreement enables RMB-based oil transactions, bypassing the dollar and supporting Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 initiative to diversify its economy. As the world's largest oil exporter, Saudi Arabia's adoption of RMB for oil trade could significantly impact the global energy market, challenging the petrodollar system. This agreement enhances financial stability between the two nations and aligns with their long-term economic objectives. Over 53% of transactions between China and Russia are settled in RMB, driven by Western sanctions and the Belt and Road Initiative's emphasis on deeper economic integration. The use of RMB in energy exports to China reflects Russia's pivot toward alternative trade systems, mitigating the impact of US and European sanctions. This partnership highlights strategic alignment between China and Russia, particularly amid escalating geopolitical tensions with the West. In Argentina, a $6.5 billion swap agreement with China stabilizes its economy amid high inflation and currency devaluation. The deal bolsters Argentina's financial resilience while supporting infrastructure projects through China's Belt and Road Initiative. This arrangement underscores how currency swaps can provide struggling economies with alternative financial lifelines, reducing dependency on traditional Western financial institutions. Argentina's economic stability, bolstered by RMB reserves, illustrates the broader benefits of these agreements for emerging markets. South Korea's swap line with China, worth 360 billion yuan, $49.4 billion, enhances trade and financial cooperation, reducing costs and exposure to dollar fluctuations. As a leading economy in Asia, South Korea's role as a hub for RMB-denominated financial products reinforces regional financial integration. The agreement simplifies trade settlements and supports South Korea's position as a key partner in advancing RMB internationalization. The European Central Bank's 350 billion yuan, $48 billion swap with China facilitates RMB liquidity in Europe, boosting trade and investment. This agreement aligns with Europe's diversification goals and the increasing issuance of RMB-denominated bonds. By providing liquidity in European markets, China strengthens its economic ties with the EU, reflecting mutual benefits and a strategic pivot toward diversified trade currencies. Brazil's currency swap with China focuses on agricultural exports, promoting trade efficiency while strengthening China's influence in Latin America. By denominating trade in RMB, both nations reduce transaction costs and build a framework for more efficient trade. As Brazil's economic structure aligns with China's resource-intensive growth, this partnership represents a model for other resource-rich nations in the region. In Nigeria, a 15 billion yuan swap enhances trade and addresses foreign exchange challenges. First signed in 2018 during dollar shortages, the deal supports businesses by facilitating trade in local currencies. As China's largest trading partner in Africa, Nigeria's economic reliance on RMB strengthens its trade relationship with China and alleviates pressure from dollar shortages. Hong Kong's 400 billion yuan, $54.9 billion swap highlights its role as a financial gateway for RMB internationalization, supporting trade and investment. As a global financial hub, Hong Kong's integration into China's currency strategy strengthens its position as a facilitator of RMB liquidity and expands its influence in global markets. Strategic objectives. China's currency swap agreements serve multiple strategic objectives. RMB internationalization. These agreements promote RMB adoption in global trade, reducing reliance on the US dollar. By establishing the RMB as a credible and stable alternative, China aims to position it as a major reserve currency aligning with its long-term financial ambitions. Economic stability. Currency swaps provide liquidity support, ensuring smoother bilateral trade and mitigating risks from USD volatility. This is especially critical for countries facing economic challenges or seeking alternatives to dollar-dominated systems. By stabilizing their economies, China enhances its reputation as a reliable economic partner. Implications for the US dollar and global economy. China's expanding currency swaps pose significant challenges to the US dollar's dominance. As more countries adopt the RMB for trade and investment, global demand for the dollar declines, potentially weakening its value and diminishing its appeal as a reserve currency. This erosion undermines the economic leverage the US has historically enjoyed, particularly in key sectors such as energy and agriculture. The reduced role of the dollar in global trade impacts foreign demand for US Treasury bonds, traditionally viewed as safe haven assets. This shift could lead to higher interest rates and increased borrowing costs domestically, exerting pressure on the US economy. Furthermore, reduced foreign capital inflows may dampen investment opportunities and slow economic growth, challenging the US's long-term financial stability. Benefits for the Global South. China's currency swap agreements provide several advantages for nations in the Global South. Enhanced financial stability. By accessing RMB liquidity, countries reduce dependency on the USD, creating a buffer against external financial shocks like dollar fluctuations or US monetary policy changes. This stability is particularly beneficial for nations with vulnerable economies. Access to alternative financing. Currency swaps often accompany broader economic cooperation, including infrastructure investments. This is particularly beneficial for developing nations seeking growth without relying on Western financial institutions. China's investments in sectors such as energy, mining, and agriculture across the Global South exemplify this trend, providing an alternative development model. China's strategic expansion of currency swap agreements marks a transformative shift in the global financial landscape. By promoting the RMB in international trade and finance, China challenges the US dollar's dominance and establishes an alternative framework. This move benefits emerging economies by providing financial stability, reducing exposure to USD volatility, and fostering economic cooperation. At the same time, the implications for the US are profound, with potential erosion of the dollar's global influence, reduced seigniorage, and weakened sanctions. China's efforts to position the RMB as a reserve currency reflect its broader geopolitical and economic ambitions, signaling a multipolar financial world. By reshaping global financial dynamics, these agreements create a future where multiple currencies coexist, reducing reliance on any single dominant reserve currency. As this trend continues, China's influence in global finance is poised to grow, heralding a new era of economic partnerships and diversified financial systems.